Hello and welcome. This is Pastor Lucy Painter with your daily insights. Today, I want to start by stating something that may sound like a cliché, especially for us believers. Are you ready for it? I want to state that everything our God does is for a reason. You know that. Everything in His design has its own end. His commands, His deeds, everything that has its origin in God has an object and a reason for being how and where it is. It is supposed to exhibit something to tend to something with a higher purpose. His deeds are ordained to answer to His original design for them. But our capacity for free will often makes us miss out on this design. You know, the Lord is not a dictator. He never took away our free will, our ability to choose. And so for the next 10 days, we are going to look into this purpose, and more so with regards to the abundance that we are launching into the deep for this year. We need to know how we are supposed to behave when we get to that level, because God isn't going to bless us for the mere sake of it or simply because we asked for it. There is a purpose beyond our own interests. God expects something of us at that level. And so to start us off on this series this month, which we are calling the test of abundance or abundance, depending on how you pronounce it. I'm talking of abundance, ABUNDANCE. We are going to look at a text we read last month on day 3 of launching deeper. Luke 5:47. And Luke says towards the end of the text that after they had launched into the deep as the Lord had commanded, they caught a great multitude of fish and called out to those in other ships. They beckoned unto them to join in and load the fish into their own boats. And this is where I want us to put our focus on, because therein lies the perfect domino effect of a believer's life. They needed a catch, and the Lord gave them a condition, a command to launch into the deep. Just like we have received a command this year, and we talked about that at length in the month of January. Launch into the deep. They obeyed. As I know, many of us are ready and determined to obey, and they got their heart's desire. But does it end there? No. Verse 7 carries a test, the test of abundance, whose results are hinged on how they do in that test. And Simon knows better than to keep everyone else from the limelight. He knows better than to hold the blessing all to himself. He beckons the other sheep to join in. And this is where we fail most as believers. We pray for blessings, we pray for abundance, and the Lord is gracious enough to invite us into His secret place of abundance. He opens the seasons of abundance to us. But what do we do with it? We fail the test. We get excited. We become selfish. We forget how we were in the previous season and those who were with us when we were back then. We want the limelight all to ourselves. We want everybody to see how different things are for us, that we forget there is a higher purpose for what God bestows upon us. I know you've seen this happening with others, and that is where we look up and say, oh, the seasons changed for them. Look, we forget that everything that has its origin in God has a purpose, an original design to which we must subscribe. And I want us to reflect and ask ourselves today, are we failing the test? Are we missing out on the end goal of our blessings? What is the purpose of what God is doing for us? May we learn to look beyond the edge or the edges of our own needs this year, to notice and beckon unto the next man, the next woman, the next person to join in on what the Lord is going to do for us this year. Shalom. This is Pastor Lucy Painter with your daily insights, and this is the Test of Abundance, Day 1.